Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for your support, guys. I appreciate it. We are getting into the second house, the house of Taurus. So if you're not a Taurus, you still do have a second house, and it's the house of material things, things of substance, self-worth being one of the important ones. Material and immaterial things, money, belongings, cultivation and growth. So I'm just kind of been winging it. I got a bunch of decks out here, so I'm just doing whatever kind of comes up to mind. I'm starting with pulling 3 of these oracles, and I am gonna just intuitively read them, and then I might just read the little short version. I only got Aries, and it was quite long, so I am trying to keep these a little shorter because the last round was pretty long too. But if you've been with my channel, you know I don't do really short readings. I think shortest I've been able to do is like a half an hour. So, you know. Oh, Taurus. Okay, let's see. And then, let's see. I'm trying to think. Then we'll probably pull a few tarot. We'll get some advice from the Shaman's Oracle at the end. A lot has been going on in the energy, you guys. A lot of shifts. Feels very towery. A lot of towers. A lot of setting strong boundaries. Okay. On the bottom is this card. This is about escapism. You could be trying to, maybe feeling a little escapist here. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Let me just read the top. I know this one's about loving something. Like if you let it love it, let it go, and if it comes back, it was meant to be. And then 65. Let's see what's going on here. Perfection doesn't exist. Right in the center here. Why is there so much unnecessary hatred in our world? Is it pure ignorance that feeds anger and judgment between mankind? Or is it something that has been taught throughout generations? Whatever the circumstances, it should not exist. It's hard to believe that someone could dislike or even hate another based solely on skin color, religion, or political beliefs. We are all aware of injustices throughout history, so by now we should be wiser and have learned things along the way. It's time for change. The world could use more kindness and understanding of others, even if we disagree with their lifestyle choices. Ultimately, what's right for us may not be suitable for them, and vice versa. One shouldn't stereotype others prematurely. Let time and their actions be what builds our perspective of them. Sweet blackbird doesn't sing. Let me lay within your wings. It said we could never be, but your darkness feeds the light in me. Find me high and away in love, so here we can no longer stay. Interesting. Unfortunately, we are born in family dynamics, or possibly a disability could create setbacks in how we are perceived by others. Certain people may never be fortunate enough to see or do the things that may be normal or common in our society. They live a totally different life, and because of this, they usually face extreme challenges along the way. With that being said, we're not better than them. They're not better than us. Regardless of which side you may fall on, we've just been given a different path. Families, geographic locations, and cultures are some of the things that influence our story, so we shouldn't be too quick to compare ourselves with others. Remember, we all are on our unique journey which ultimately shapes each of our lives. There is something here. Maybe it's time you're letting go of judgments and separation. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Let's look here at this other one. You've chosen your fate for your life, whether you understand this or not. You may not know what lies ahead, but it's already planned in advance, so learn to go with the flow. There's some kind of destined feeling here about, and it has something to do with also releasing judgment or trying to contain something or make something kind of fit in a cage or be something it's interesting. You could have a preconceived idea, and then don't beat up the messenger here, but you could have like a preconceived idea of what a person or a situation or something in your life should look like or should be, and you're maybe trying to release that idea or that preconception of what you believe, like a judgment. That would be a judgment also, or if it's wrong or if it's right, or if you're better, if you're worse, if they're better, if they're worse, that kind of thing. It's like keeping a really narrow mind around a person, a situation. This could be yourself, but it's freeing it up to be exactly what it is, what it's supposed to be. And this has a feeling of fate. It says, you've already picked this. Trust that what you encounter, whether your perceptions are good or bad, it is all helping you find your way back to the light. And that was in the other card too. It's like, you're the light, or the dark in you is the light in me. It's kind of like yin-yang-y energy. So it's like a balance. There's like some kind of balance here. Maybe you're working on restoring here. This card is a reminder that all is well and lets you know that there is a much bigger plan and purpose. So just believe. You are strong enough to get through any obstacles you are facing at this time. Have faith. There is some kind of, it could be a mental obstacle. It could be like this, like that conditioning, like you've been conditioned to believe one thing, or maybe you're reevaluating like your structures, your dynamics, your judgments, your comparisons, stuff like that, and you're trying to release those and let them be what they are. Like the situations or the people or the places in your life that you can't control or contain in a cage, like make it what you want it to be. That being said, we got this other one coming in, and this is the Angel Haniel coming in as support here. Yeah, getting rid of patterns, shredding patterns. What makes us all uniquely different? Are we born to be who we are, or are we guided along the way? The answer is both. Although we are born with our individuality, we are also influenced by our parents' environment and lifestyle, nature and nurture. What we experience and see at the beginning of life has a direct impact on our behavioral patterns. Good or bad, these imprints can significantly affect the way we perceive ourselves and interact with others. Archangel Haniel wants to help you through this transitional period. She will surround you with her protective shield and energy. She will not only allow goodness and positive energy to attach itself to you, she will also help you embrace all aspects of yourself with your strengths and weaknesses. Ask for her whenever you feel unsure or inadequate about yourself. She'll bring insight about how wonderful you are, and her presence will calm you during times of need. All things are possible, and you do have help from the other side. Love is with you. So this feels like you're going through a shift here, a change, growing, maybe looking at some conditions, like some conditions that you learned, or you kept these going, this patterns or whatever going through your life, and now it's like you're looking at you're transitioning into a point of freeing up these patterns or these and these would be this would be doing some shadow work, you guys. If you're looking at this kind of stuff and you're saying, man, this is a pattern, like I'm really judgmental, or I'm always comparing this person or that situation to this situation or that person, or I want it to be what I want it to be. Yeah, it's just very interesting. They said we could never be, but your darkness feeds. So it's like opposites. I'm feeling like kind of a opposite, that yin yang. It's like a duality, very dual, and we are all humans. So if you strip away all things pertaining to our status, riches, or fame, what do you actually see? It's a reality check, because if we are all naked in a room together with nowhere to hide, all of us would feel vulnerable. At that point, everything is revealed, and we all know perfection doesn't exist. So why do some think they are so much better than others? Don't they realize we're all facing our own individual challenges while trying to maintain harmony with others? So if there is something you're looking at, and this is twice that the family dynamics, conditioning, stuff like that's came in, maybe you've learned maybe picked up a habit or a behavior, a pattern. This could be something that's been passed down from generation to generation, something you've learned in this lifetime. This could just be like an energetic thing you're carrying. It feels like you are trying to transition from that to a new energy. And this new energy is much more freeing, it's less constricted, it's less contained, and it's less, it's like you're trying to control less of what something looks like or how it should be. Maybe you're trying to release some judgments, stuff like that. That's what I'm getting from that, you guys. So let's go ahead and get an overall G here. And this is also, like I said, with the shadow work, if there's been hate or disconnect or bitterness or resentment, anything like that, that's like judging another or disliking another because of just the way they are, the way they were raised, or the way they do something differently than you. I feel like this is the transition you're going through right now, if this is your reading. Reflection is what came out. Echo, mirroring. Notice what is being reflected back. Okay, so reflection is kind of like... it's kind of like moon energy in a way. And I also feel kind of hangman energy too. So changing a perspective, doing some self-reflection here. Let me just see what the keywords are for this. Oh, this one doesn't actually have keywords. So this one doesn't actually have keywords. The keyword is reflection, but it does say echo, mirroring. Notice what is being reflected back. So on the bottom is resurrect. So this is a transition to change something like this could be part of you're going through it's part of your rebirthing process. It says strengthen and restore, regeneration and flourish. So part of this shadow work, or maybe reflecting on how you've been raised, maybe the conditions, the stipulations, the judgments, those kind of things that you're working on releasing here, working on freeing, you know. It's like you're having to look at, like, reflect on a lot of those things that you've maybe reflected into your world and have been reflected back also to you. So I do want to look at the bottom of that one again. Oh yeah, and then there was the 29. I am going to just read the short little version of that, you guys. I know this one is about escapism. Yeah, twisted reality. There's something here about changing your perception on something here. Some kind of reality that's you might be trying to escape from. She's also holding a mirror, which is interesting because we got reflection too. So there's some kind of reflective thing here to look at. And this would be shadow work. This would be going in, looking at maybe some of your preconceived ideas of what something should look like, or how it should live, or how it should be, or how should it exist, and then freeing that up and knowing that you are being really strongly supported right now by angels and guides, as this is always hard to go through shadow work and do the work for rebirth and transitioning into a less judgmental or a less bitter or a less just less negativity. It says, I found myself when looking deep within. Yes, the other side of the mirror. Escapism. Good or bad? Where is your mind in your present state of reality? Or do you find yourself avoiding reality because you're fantasizing about something else? A reality check here, with this card being on the bottom here. Certain types of escapism can become obsessive and bring on hardships. Do you find yourself avoiding reality because you're fantasizing about something else? It is challenging because of all the enticing technology, advancements available to us, and if it consumes our thoughts, it only aids negative escapism. So you could be spending a lot of time on your phone, a lot of time escaping with stuff on the internet. This could be a multitude of things. Hopefully it's not, there's a lot of nasty stuff out there on the internet. We can use the internet, we can use technology for good, or it can suck us into the dark side of humanity, and that is not that's not an exaggeration. That's reality. So it could be, being very mindful about what you're watching, what you're consuming, as you're trying to release judgments and comparisons and maybe harsh criticism, stuff like that, about things that you think should look a certain way or be a certain thing. It says many end up losing their sense of responsibility. Could be really avoiding some really strong responsibilities that you have towards, whether this is work, family, a relationship, something in your life, because you're escaping through, and this could just be any kind of escapism. It doesn't have to be technology, you guys. But it says the overuse of television, movies, video games, and social media. Maybe they hate their job, so they come home and binge watch television and spend countless hours on the internet and video games. Their desire to escape everyday life becomes apparent, and this is an unhealthy way to live. It can lead to lack of ambition, social exclusion, and physical deterioration. So to get moving, obviously not sit around glued to your phone. And also there's there's just this, so many things you can escape to. And then under that's the 26. Twisted reality, huh? And it says, it brings you awareness. If you find you are escaping for the wrong reasons, perhaps it would be best to look at the source of the problem. So you could be even feeling like this, any kind of growth, especially when it requires self-reflection, especially when it requires us looking at our maybe our family life that we've told ourselves was great and wonderful, and there is wonderful times and there is great times, but there's also those things that we pick up and that we learn that we need to learn to release, and we can do that without hating our family, hating our, hating everybody and everything. We can do that, but we got to understand they also were growing and learning, and there's just feels like there's been some conditions, maybe some judgments, maybe some ways you grow up or you are understanding that you hold a really rigid idea of what something should look like or how something should be, or what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, what's beautiful, all this. Like a lot of, I'm feeling a lot of judgment that you're reflecting on right now, and that's what I am getting. And it says, make adjustments or eradicate whatever is causing your unhappiness altogether. So it's kind of asking yourself to do the self-reflection. Reflect on what is echoing at you, what is making you unhappy. Okay, so if it's a situation or a job or something like that, what is it about that makes you unhappy? And then when we reflect, is it because you have a different idea of what it should look like? Or is it because it just isn't in alignment with you? I mean, there's tons of things to look at when we're reflecting on things. It's like, is it the actual job or the situation or the person that's not making me happy? Or is it some kind of idea I have about what's right or what's wrong, or a comparison, or I'm comparing myself, so it makes me feel like lower self-esteem or something like that. Anything like that, you guys. It says, find new employment if necessary. It might be time for a fresh start. What is going to get you there? It says, try stimulating your mind and soul with an exercise and nutrition plan. This is also about taking care of yourself with the escapism card on the bottom too. Like I said, it doesn't have to be just internet, you guys. But it is feeling like some kind of, it could be self-indulgence to escape. You could be comparing yourself to others and trying to, spending a lot of time on yourself. Or you could be trying to kind of not do the self-reflection, so you're focusing on other things. Anything can be escapism if you use it, if it's overdone. Like, that's just anything, even eating, anything, exercise, even good things. It says, if you love your life, there's no need to escape it. So it's asking you to ask yourself, what is it about your life? Reflect on your life and ask yourself, what is it actually about your life that you don't like, and to change it. Maybe this could be freeing it up. This could be freeing up your mind to have less judgments about what it should look like, what it should be, or to change it completely. So that's going to be your guys' call there. But I do want to read the short version of this one here. Okay. So there could be things here too also where maybe you feel like you have missed an opportunity, or some way you kind of had an idea, and this card brings a message, you've missed opportunities for the life you desire. So there's been maybe a idea of what life should look like, what life should be like, what maybe your job or your relationship or you even should look like or be. And it's like there has been some missed opportunities here to get that life. Now, if you were had this conditioned or programmed way of thinking what life should look like or how perfect it should be, or maybe your mate, maybe your job, something like that, it's saying, there's been missed opportunities. Obviously, it hasn't happened. You don't got the life you desire. It says, you're more than capable of making all your aspirations come true, but you're stuck in some type of holding pattern. That's what I'm feeling. This is a different card, you guys, but it feels like you have a holding pattern, and you're holding on to the way something should be or should look like or should something, and holding on to it rather than just letting it go or releasing your perception of checking your perception of the situation, or just releasing it. If you know this is your perception and you've done the reflection, then it's about not holding on to the pattern of continuing to be hateful or bitter or judgmental. This is about letting something go. Also, if it's something you can't, like you just say it is a job, or it's a relationship, it's a job, it's some kind of idea you have about the way something should be, and you know you can't change it, and you can't, you can hold on to it, but it's just really not, it's, I feel like there's a feeling here of it not being, something not being what you want it to be, or maybe what you thought it should be, or maybe you, and there's been a lot of like, in this message about like ancestors and conditioning and the way we're raised, and those being huge influences on us. So it could be something like that, you guys, where you've just had a preconceived idea of how something should turn out or something should be, and it just isn't, it isn't turned out the way you wished it to be. And it says your inability to move forward is keeping you from everything you want to achieve. So there is some kind of transition here, whether this is in your perception, and that's why you're doing some, but there is, try not to escape right now. If you're doing a lot of reflecting, notice what is being reflected back when you are reflecting. Like, what are you getting? If you are reflecting on something, what are the feelings and the words that are coming from your heart and your mind, like, and your judgments about it and stuff. Reflecting doesn't mean reflecting on others, but if you are reflecting on others, see what that is showing you about you. That's reflection. It's like, it's like me, but it's not. There is a duality kind of energy here, but there's something within the dark that brings out the light, and something in the light that brings in the dark. That's what's very interesting about that yin yang. It's so, it says, perhaps you are afraid of change. It's leaving you feeling petrified to do anything because you don't know if you're good enough to make it all come together. Procrastination could be keeping you stuck here when you need to be there. So there is something I feel like you're trying to do here. And I feel like this is work. I feel like you might be doing some shadow work, maybe some self-reflection, maybe trying to release some kind of idea that there has been missed opportunity, or that some holding pattern, something you're holding on to that's became maybe a negative pattern. This could be even something, an addiction or something. It could be something like that too, you guys. There's lots of things I'm getting from this. It says, but if this could be a thinking pattern or a habit of always comparing, or always judging, or always trying to make something look the way it's like you've been kind of programmed to believe it should look or be, and it's all about releasing that, which will release a lot of resentment and bitterness too, because now you accept something as it is, and you're not trying to contain it to make it what it is never going to be, and it makes you feel freer. It makes, and it frees up your mind to see the value in everything, not just if it's only like valued in like this cage. This girl holding this bird in this cage, and then the very next card, this bird, and this bird, which is actually this woman, is actually flying free, and it is like very shadowy. It's kind of like releasing negativity too. I'm feeling that with the black bird. It's like releasing some kind of negative judgments, maybe harsh, maybe even hate, maybe even some really negative feelings here that you're working on completely releasing. It's very interesting. All right, yeah. Just because something has broken wings doesn't mean it can't learn to fly, and just because something isn't the way, it isn't perfect, it doesn't mean it doesn't have value. We're all humans, so if you strip away all things pertaining to status, riches, or fame, what do you actually see? There's something very feels kind of humbling in this reading, like looking at something and maybe humbling yourself about it. There's a need to not escape into the online world or anything away from this reflection. This is important work for a transition that you may be going through if this is your reading. So let's go ahead and get one of these Metatron cards. Joy and happiness. Nice. It has a bee on it. A bee and joy and happiness. And there's butterflies in the background. Yeah, freeing some kind of thought process or conditioning up is going to bring you to a better place here. Joyful, more happy place. It's really, and then we got evaluation and review. Akashic Records. Yes. Also reflecting on what makes you happy, and is it what's not. Okay, so if something's not making you happy, is it the judgment you have about it, or is it the actual thing, or it's just not what you had wanted or hoped for, or maybe had an idea that was supposed to be your perfect job or dream job, dream husband, dream wife, dream job, maybe your kids struggling. It could be anything, you guys. Maybe you didn't have the perfect mom, perfect dad, something like that. It's like changing your perception here and releasing like preconceived ideas of what somebody should be, and realizing the humanity in all of us and the imperfection in all of us is going to help you be more happy and joyful. Feels like it's releasing a lot of negativity here is what's coming through as the work maybe trying to come through for you right now. So you may be resisting it by escaping, by spending a lot of time watching TV, maybe online, maybe doing really destructive things, addictive things. This could be drugs, this could be overeating, this could be even overexercising, overworking, internet, it could be dating sites, it could be porn, it could be stuff like that, you guys. It could be a lot of things that you need to really check yourself right now, because there's some kind of Akashic record energy here that you need to evaluate and review. You need to look over what you're holding on to, the holding patterns that are not making you happy or joyful. The bee here, it's interesting, on the flower. And then we also got the authentic self. Who are you? I love that. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and just read. I'll probably just read like the short little version of that. We got this bee, this joy and happiness. It's like the sun, the source of light, heat, and life on this great earth. The masculine energy, the sun is strong. The yellow ray creates a path back to positivity and well-being that is always available to you. Breathe in its beauty and light and let it bring you relief from all that is destructive and troublesome. Could be something, a pattern or a thinking process or something that you've been holding on to that you need to release, that is hindering your joy and happiness. And if it's not, but that's why this reflection is at the top of the reading and the overall, because before releasing or moving into anything, there needs to be some really deep reflection here. I feel like some shadow work, because there is some like this Akashic record stuff that it's like you need to go deep into your DNA, into what you're carrying, that might not even be like yours this lifetime, but it's yours. It's part of you, and it's kind of looking at that and releasing the things that you don't want to be a part of this experience, this lifetime. I love this. It says the bee at the center of this card symbolizes the need to reach out to others and be sociable and appreciate what others can bring to our lives. Bees are creatures that swarm together and work together for a common good, so this is highlighted to you now as well. Sweet honey nectar they produce by pulling together represents the reward for their effort. It reminds us not to be so serious all the time, but to have childlike curiosity from life's riches, and not to fear life, but to find a place for doing what we love and being with those who make us content. It says the yellow ray is also a reminder that after any storm we pass through in life that knocks us down or saddens us, the sun's energy can restore us back to our prolific best, happy in who we are and what we do. Yeah, so there's something here, just I feel like if you release it, and it's some kind of preconceived judgments or perception, or doing some really deep reflection on the way you maybe think something should be, or maybe you haven't given something the understanding or the freedom or the kind of to be what it is, and still find joy and appreciation in it. If it isn't, it's like, well, this bird is supposed to be a pet, or this bird isn't supposed to be free, or this is, there's some kind of feeling here of having an idea of what something should be, and then needing to release that. And it's some kind of shadow work about reflecting on this there's shadow here. There's this, it's broken wings, realizing that something's not broke just because it's not perfect, or it's not the way you think it should be, or maybe it's not. It's interesting. It says there's just too much unnecessary hatred in our world, and is it pure ignorance that feeds anger and judgment between mankind, or has it been something that has been taught throughout generations? And I'm feeling both. So just keeping in mind that this could be playing a part in what you're reflecting on right now. Like, what have you been taught? How are the judgments you're you're dealing with, or is there something you can release, like an idea or a condition or something like that you can release to make things more peaceful and joyful for yourself. Let's go to this Akashic record real quick. Evaluation and review. It says all you have done, been, seen, or experienced is recorded in the Hall of Akashic Records. This is really strong energy for this reading, because it's saying, and it's right under this broken winged bird, which is saying if all of us were, it's like there's could be something you're reflecting here that you need to reflect on that's deep seated, that would be like in that Akashic place, where you could be having a really strong feeling or a strong judgment to hold on to something, or maybe contain something, or make something look the way you want it to look because of something that's deep seated. It says all the times you have wronged someone, and all the times you've loved, all the words spoken in hatred, and all the words of forgiveness, deeds where you acted in your own interest, and times you served the collective good, lifetimes when you struggled, and lifetimes when you enjoyed life's riches. You have sacrificed your life for another, and you have taken a life. You have shone your light brightly, and you have had times where you extinguished light. You have lived as male, female, black, and white, a short life and a long life, a life with a disability and a life in complete health. You have been good, bad, and everything in between. Yeah, there's something here you need to deeply reflect on about everybody not being perfect, and releasing some judgments here on something. I feel like this could be about people, not just work or situations. But if it is about a situation, or the way maybe a family dynamic or work, how it should be or how it should look, or how that, even it could be something as small as like, this is the kind of car I should be driving, or this is the kind of house I should live in, or this is the kind of children I should have, and wife I should have, and mother I should have, and father I should have, and this is. There's just a feeling here of needing to recognize that you've been everything that you're judging. And I'm just going to say that as harshly as it feels. Like, it feels like there's a need to look at this. If there is something in your life that's causing you dishappiness or discontent, instead of joy, it's because you're holding on to some kind of deep-seated pattern. That's what I am getting. So if this isn't your reading, it's not your reading, but this is very good advice. And if you're doing the work, then you're not going to mind the advice. I feel like it doesn't matter how hard we try, and we can do a lot of work, and we do get much less judgmental, and we get much more understanding. But it seems like, no matter how much work you're doing, sometimes you'll slip into those places again where you're judging again, or you find yourself in that trying to hold on to an old pattern or an old behavior. And especially when you're going through a rebirth process, which was on the bottom of this, it's that resurrect. So it's like coming back to a new life here. It's very important, as it's a transition. It doesn't happen overnight. So it's like breaking patterns little by little. Like I've had to really, it's so hard. It's just so hard working on breaking jealousy patterns, insecurity, realizing that if you don't trust and nurture what you do love, and you think that there's something like better, or the grass is greener on the other side, or something like that, you may find that you end up missing and longing for something that wasn't perfect, but it was perfect for you, because it was like that card where it said the light in the dark, or the dark in the light. You could end up in a worse job, or a worse, there's always that if, but there's also, with this kind of, it's just feeling like there's a pattern or something that's being held on to that needs looked at. And it says these reflections. This is interesting, because this is on the authentic self. And we have at the top of the reading reflection. And the first sentence on this card is the reflections. These reflections are like other people's perceptions and ideas of who you are. Ideas based on your own filters, and also what you have chosen to show, reveal, or be at different times in your life. And then we got that Akashic Records. It's like you've been many things. You've been many things, and many people, and good, bad, ugly, all the in between. You may resonate strongly with some of these reflections. So when you're reflecting, so if you're looking at a situation or people or something in your life, and it might be reflecting something good back to you. You might be like, wow, I really like that reflection. I like what that looks like. I admire that. And then you might disregard and shun others. It says all are part of the energy that you have emitted or sent out, some accurate and some less so. These reflections all look like you, but are they really? And and who you believe yourself to be. So it's almost like if you see somebody who's, let's say, just beautiful, has a great job, whatever, and you're like, oh, I wish I was like her, or, that's that comparison, that's that judgment. But we don't know, you don't know what's really underneath the surface either. There's so much going on, deep-seated stuff that people are working on, and, we can only, that's all kind of, it feels like superficial, like, stuff. You could be just kind of looking at the surface of things and not going really deep into the, your own shadow work, maybe looking at the things that you're carrying or trying to conform, that's the word I'm looking for. You could be trying to conform something to an idea you have of what it should look like, what it should be, maybe what you should have or you should look like or you should be. And this is about being your authentic self and recognizing that there's something authentically you. And it says the reflections all look like you, but are they really? Look at how the figure in the mirror, that's interesting. This is a figure in the mirror. And then we got this escapism here on the bottom. And then this, and it almost even has the same colors. 2 different decks, you guys, but it's like very interesting. There's this reflection in your reading, very strong reflection. And it says this includes reflection of how you see yourself and judge yourself and who you believe yourself to be. So if you are judging others or you're seeing yourself as one way, that means you're judging others or you're judging yourself and who you believe yourself to be. It's like, but then it says, look at how the figure in the mirror is shielded by white satin. Archangel Metatron has brought you here to unveil to yourself who you truly are, your authentic self, stripped bare of other people's perceptions. This is feeling like, this could go multiple ways. This is happening all across the board. People are realizing they want to be who they are, not who they were taught to be, not who they were told they should be or shouldn't be, or you aren't going to be loved or accepted or admired or respected in society or a relationship if you aren't like this or you don't do this. Or there's so many holding patterns that I think collectively we're trying to release right now, and judgments on what we are, what we should be, who we should be, how we should act, everything. It says stripped bare of other people's perceptions as well as your own. Yeah, this is that same energy of being naked in a room and everybody seeing the flaws. Everybody's got those, and it doesn't mean literally, it's like if everybody's stuff was out there, we'd all have good, bad, ugly. It's really, this is about releasing judgment, you guys, and true reflection. Not judging yourself or others. The more you find yourself judging others, that means you're judging yourself too. Like, you may not even see that. And it's like, there's so much deep stuff to this, this kind of transition. And it still is something you will continuously work with and through for as long as you're in body. It's one of those human things that we are conditioned, we are taught to do. And it's a social thing too. Like, people gossip about certain people, you just gotta stay like, no, that's not right. Like, who are you? Like, that's like, who are you? Are you any better than that person? Are you, it's just one of those things. That's what I'm feeling. It's kind of irritating. So if this is you, or you're just working on this, maybe it's something, and it's good. If you recognize this is something that you need to reflect on, then that's good, because it's definitely happening, and it's helping you to find your authentic self, and you're being supported by angels here to help you look at yourself and transmute any of these judgments or these preconceived ideas of what something should look like or be into acceptance. And that's good, and light. And it says to gaze into this mirror is to see yourself properly for the first time ever. As Metatron lifts away the satin sheet, you see yourself gazing back at you. Ageless, eternal, light-filled, your spirit shining brightly. Here there is no hiding place. This is you. Look into the eyes and see your androgynous, I can never say that word right, androgynous, there we go, soul reflecting back to you. Many lifetimes, much wisdom, and love in its purest form. There's something here just trying to release some kind of conditioning or personality. This has been a theme through the readings, and going deep in and saying, okay, I know I'm everything, and I'm all, and I'm nothing all at once. I'm everything, and I've been everything, and I'm releasing like the judgments that I have about what other people should be and I should be, and I'm just gonna love. I'm just gonna shine. I'm just gonna get through this, and it's step by step. Like I said, though, you'll find You know, you might be working specifically on releasing one judgment or one preconceived idea of how something should look right now. And then you'll be working on something else in a month or whatever. It's constant work when you're on this path, you guys. We're constantly trying to open our minds up and be more understanding. And that's how we do it, is by opening our minds up and seeing things in ourselves with the reflection. So this is really a good thing that you're going through right now. It may not necessarily feel all great, because these kind of transitions can be hard and uncomfortable, and that could be why there is a warning here not to escape, to watch how you're escaping or trying to escape maybe from doing the work. This is the work of reflection, and yeah, that's what I'm getting. It says this is as you were when love in its purest form. This is you when you were born, a pure incarnated soul in physical form. Come to play, work, learn, do, and be. You have lost this connection with your true authentic self. Allow this relationship with your true essence to deepen and blossom. As it does so, much may need to adapt in your life as you recognize and follow your own authenticity. Being authentic may result in you being asked to not follow the crowd, but to stand out and shine brightly in your own right. Doing life your way. This doesn't have to be a lonely place. Metatron is beside you and will help you recognize those of a similar vibration and those who live authentically. It is time to allow all the masks to fall away, to recognize and appreciate who you really are. The deepening of this relationship starts now. Look into the mirror and see. That's really nice. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a little tarot card for under each of these. And we got that Three of Swords. Yes. So there is something here, and this could actually be, it's the Three of Swords, and it says, I see things exactly as they are. And it's under this, it's like there's this feeling here of it causing a lot of pain and strife. Not seeing things exactly how they are. Not finding the joy and the happiness and the, like, seeing the, and also the sun is clarity. It's seeing things clearly. It's seeing that maybe there's been some holding patterns here that are causing strife, and it's time to see things as exactly they are. And it may hurt when we look at these patterns and these things in ourselves. It can hurt you guys or others, because we know maybe we've misjudged, maybe we've judged harshly, maybe we've been hateful, maybe we've made bad choices in reaction to them not being what we want them to be for us. And it's time to take a deep look at that. And then we got the Five of Pentacles here. I am supported and never alone. And this is about putting yourself into something and not telling yourself that you don't have it in you and you are not capable of going deep and evaluating and reviewing and reflecting on this energy, this releasing energy, this energy of releasing judgment, releasing hate, releasing anything that has caused pain. This is also healing. This is getting help. You may, and it's saying you have help all around you. There's a lot of support here coming in for you right now if this is your reading, Taurus. And this is just really going to help bring you to exactly be able to express exactly who you are in light, not in shadow. Because we have both, guys, and we want to, if you're doing this kind of, at least on my channel, you're probably trying to be more, help the light energy, help the cleansing and the acceptance and the forgiveness and all that. It's less controlling. It's working on being less controlling. It's working on understanding that we are here as humans, and there is tons of judgments and tons of misconceptions about us as the souls we are, and we fall into that human trap. We fall into the flesh trap, and we're human, so we're living the human life, and we become animals. Okay, that's the way I feel about it. And then we start to remember, wait, I'm not just an animal. I'm a soul. I have conscious knowing of how I'm feeling, and I understand that I can even figure out, problem solve, how to reflect on my feelings and how I can change them and how I can do things. Like, we are freaking powerful beings, you guys, powerful energy. So we need to utilize this energy to try to bring more understanding and acceptance into this world, because there's already enough hate and That's the truth. And there's enough judgment and enough comparison to kill to kill the ego and the self-esteem of the most beautiful, smart, wonderful person in the world, let alone the people who maybe haven't come up in the great households or haven't been the whatever, the upstanding wife or the upstanding mother, or it's enough. What we got going on in society is enough to try to put down even the best people, let alone the people who have made mistakes, which is everybody, you guys. We're all naked, we're all vulnerable, and we all have flaws, and we've been everything. And that is an important part of this reading. That's what I'm feeling. So then we got the Six of Pentacles coming in right after the Five of Pentacles. And it says, I give and receive for the universal good. And this is giving and receiving your authentic self. So it's like, yeah, this isn't just about giving somebody money or candy or flowers or a gift, or this is about putting yourself and your heart and your intentions into balancing, not extorting people, not taking advantage of people because they're weaker or they don't have as much money or they aren't as they don't have as high self-esteem or whatever it is. It's about really balancing out those scales and doing something fair and kind and for yourself, for others, and it's going to require that you be yourself and not what you've been shown or taught or maybe conditioned to believe. Really stepping out of the box here, stepping out of the cage here, and freeing this up. That's what I'm getting. All right, let's get one of these spiral. This is a nice reading. And what do we got? Attachments. Yeah, this is feeling like, and then Heart Song on the bottom. Let's see here. I'll just read the short thing here. Was reversed. Yeah, there's something here. It's that bondage. It's holding on to a pattern or holding on to a thought process. Maybe even something that you do need to release in your life. It could be an addiction. It could be something like that with that one on the bottom. It says, free yourself from chains and bondage, be it physical, mental, or spiritual. Those ties and obligations are not yours to bear, no matter what you have been led to believe. Yeah, like there's something here. Maybe you've been led to believe that you have to stand up for, or you have to believe, or you have to judge, or you have to do something about it. And it's saying that's not yours. You're bonded to something that's not allowing you to be your authentic self. And this is that Six of Pentacles underneath. There's something here. You could be a very whenever I see the Six of Pentacles in the original, it's like this guy's giving these two, I want to say they're like beggars, but one's like, I think one's like really in need and the other one is just not. But either way, it's about, I'm giving to both. It doesn't matter how they look. It doesn't matter what the clothes look like or what walk of life, because he could really need it or he could really need it, or maybe neither will need it. But either way, I'm going to do the right thing so I feel good about myself. That's another thing I get with the Six of Pentacles is intention too. It's not to get the admiration of other people or anything. It's to do the right thing. It's like I have something I can offer to balance something out here, and I feel like that is going within and doing some reflection, maybe freeing up some thoughts or some patterns here that could really help balance. Not only it's going to help show who you are more. That's what I'm getting. Replace old harmful habits. Yes. The harmful habits. This could be, and this is coming through as the harmful belief. It's like harmful thoughts, harmful, repetitive patterns that you're holding on to in your mind. It also could be that it could be patterns of escapism. Maybe that's how you escape, is into that judgmental place, or to that that place where you go into this fantasy land where everything should look a certain way, and that's what makes it more digestible to you, that you don't have that. And then again, we go back to comparison. So there's a lot to this. I'm getting a lot with this message. It says, replace the old harmful habits with ones that heal and protect you. Pay close attention to your inner dialogue to see what you have been programming into your beliefs and behaviors. Ignore false evidence that appears real. There's something here you're attached to here, a belief or a thought process or some kind of patterned way of thinking. It's asking you to look at, reflect on, and release. It's causing a lot of pain. It's causing a lot of heartache. Saying, look at it. Look at the real deal. Reflect on this realistically. There is something here coming through, being strongly encouraging you to see yourself as you see others. reflect on those vulnerabilities and those weaknesses and all the things you judge as weak or perceive as weak or should be, could be, isn't, and to reflect that back to yourself and release the attachment you have to some kind of belief or some kind of patterned way of thinking that's causing maybe even behaviors, like behavioral patterns, maybe of escaping you guys. It is on the bottom there. So let's go ahead and get one of these spiral oracles. Oh, this was the seeker. This is the spiral. All right, let's get, whoa, there it is. All right. Okay, what do we get? A new sprout. Nice. A new sprout. Oops. There are memories. Oh, this is so goes with your guys' reading. There are memories of my ancestors living in me. I honor these memories, and I also appreciate the personal resources they developed that helped me survive and navigate different circumstances in their lives. Resources that, like a treasure, they passed on to take care of me and protect me. I bring to light this truth, and I understand that for them it was necessary to live with these strategies. However, now they have become for me a burden of outdated resources and an old paradigm that is not of my essence. It is these ancient beliefs that at this very moment I must release. This feels very Hierophant-y, which is also a Taurian card. Traditional stuff like that's like breaking through those old barriers and those old cages of what something should look like, something should be. Perfectionism, self-criticism, high expectations, negative internal dialogue, and being self-demanding are consequences of this paradox, leading to expectations and judgments by society. Fearing error, ridicule, and failure is a guarantee that life will pass me by. Oh, so it's like this fear of, oh, if I'm not perfect or things don't look perfect or I do not follow this tradition or I do not have this perfection, that I will be judged. Society will shun me. Now think of that as a reflection. Is it because you have felt shunned? Is it because there's something deep-seated in you that you know your ancestors were shunned for being different, or for not judging others, or for not hating others, or maybe vice versa? It depends on what's strongest in your DNA. And I do feel like as people, there's certain DNA that is stronger and you can feel more. I think we have a lot of different energy in our genetic makeup, but certain things are real powerful. You know, I have this real powerful, like this spiritual thing, and it's not just DNA. I'm sure it's my planets and stuff too, like my houses and stuff, but it's something very important to recognize. Where is this coming from? Where is this judgment? Where is this shadow coming from? And is it something you need to release and detach from, because it's causing you to not be able to have something new here, grow something new, be your authentic self, and receive and give for the universal good, not just self-serving. It says, fearing error, which is making mistakes, not being perfect, and failure, not achieving a goal, not being the best at something like that, is a guarantee that life will pass me by. So if you're fearing any of this, that's a guarantee. And this it did say you like missed an opportunity for the perfect life that you dreamt of or whatever, but there is no perfect life. And when you feel like that fear that you missed out on something and you're never going to be something, or something's never going to be what you want it to be, that's automatic. Like it automatically takes away the chance of anything ever being good. It's like it just narrows down the options, the path, the freedom, the love. It's just very constricting. It says allowing and vulnerability. Those are the two key words to this card. It says, today I enjoy new and curious aspects of my humanity, celebrating facets that I once rejected or hid. Today, it could be something you're really wanting to authentically bring to the table. Maybe some something good here. And there's an angel here, a couple, like really strongly supporting you in bringing forth who you truly are after doing this reflection, to create this new, it's a part of yourself that you may have even judged before as being wrong or needing to be something else, and it's just not anything else. It is what it is. And it's something you actually, maybe, it's like it doesn't have to look a certain way, or it doesn't have to be a certain way, something like that. And it's being vulnerable also, because we had that naked vulnerability, we had that weakness, we had that attachment to judgment. There's a whole stream down the middle of this of just having this really strong judgment about things, guys. So that's what this reading is about. It says, today I appreciate that the wonder of being human is due, in part, to my fragility, ridiculousness, and my differences. A weight is lifted within me and without, forcing change. I gently allow myself to be whoever I am. Vulnerability, I welcome you, because today you are the force that makes me strong. You may have had a judgment on being vulnerable. You may have looked at vulnerability as a weakness, and now you want to embrace a more vulnerable part of yourself. That's another message coming through for somebody. It says, I enjoy myself. I stumble, I make mistakes, and I fail. And then I laugh at myself, at the character I have created. Because a lot of those failures, you guys, come from being somebody we aren't. Truly. It's being what society wants us to be. Or it's that injured child trying to get acceptance. Or it's that injured person trying to be right because they want to feel like they have power over their lives because they didn't have power over their lives, or anything like that, you guys. It's doing a lot of deep reflection here on this energy. It says, I have created, and an old tension dissipates. This old tension dissipates, which brings joy and happiness and clarity. There's something wanting to dissolve here in a holding pattern. My heart rate, excuse me. Oh, sorry. My heart rate decreases. My anxiety fades away. I lighten my life, and finally my inner judge takes a well-deserved vacation. Let your inner judge take a well-deserved vacation, okay? Taurus, or whoever's watching this that it resonates with, I just want you to know I am always, you know what? I actually am going to get one more card, you guys. I can't help it. These readings, they're going to be long. That's okay. Okay, there we go. What do we got? The middle tree, the middle world. Nice. 36, middle world. And this is a short little thing, guys. Just bear with me here. Thank you. All right. It says the middle world shows up when conditions are favorable to your undertaking. There's something here you want to do. It might be releasing something, freeing something up. And it says they're favorable for your undertaking. Do not hesitate. Move forward as heaven and earth are smiling upon you. Something here helping you transition, release something, some holding pattern, maybe some judgment, maybe some attachment to some kind of way something should be or look. So you can be more authentically you. And it says, and it could be requiring you that you be maybe generous, maybe vulnerable, and just stuff that you've maybe misjudged, or you are trying to release the judgment on it so you can move forward with whatever this is, which is out of the tradition, out of the box, out of the cage. It's deep-seated stuff, working on releasing these old paradigms, it's interesting. And it says, do not hesitate, move forward, as heaven and earth are smiling upon you. The time is right, so be expedient, but mindful of not being reckless. The world is your playground, and what would require great effort at any other time can be accomplished with ease right now. So whatever this is, whether this is, it could be anything, you guys. This is just a general message, but it could be anything, whatever it is you want to move towards that may require that you release judgments or free something up, or maybe this is even freeing yourself up, or, just being more, there's something new trying to happen here, and it's going to be easier to do this right now, do this reflection, do this releasing, and do this and this authentic expression, authentic work. Now is going to be and then it's just so interesting. And on the bottom we got that tree of life. So the middle world and then the tree of life. There's just something here big trying to happen here, a transition. To find health and balance in your life, reflect on how you dance with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. If you are too much in your thinking head or in a world of fantasies and daydreaming, that's what I was getting to. Connect more with your roots and physical body. If you are caught in mechanical doing and you're feeling stuck, not able to imagine a better life for yourself, open yourself to be inspired by the heavens. Let your roots and branches be aligned with your heart's longing. Not with the conditioning, not with the preconceived judgments and ideas, but what your heart says. Because, you know, that's part of life, you guys. We are human. We all have done horrible things. We've all hurt. We've all made mistakes. We all fail. But we all love, too. And it's very important to recognize these. This is a strength in us. It actually is a very, yeah, we get a lot of feelings and stuff about everything. But all in all, we are love. And we do love. And we want to be who we are, and that means who we are, like who our souls, like what our souls are, like what our souls energies are, not what we've been taught we should be. And we want to give other people, I don't think anybody truly wants to be judgmental or mean or ruthless or bitter. I just think as growing humans, we don't know how to react to certain things, especially when we've been conditioned to react and behave certain ways about certain things, maybe certain people. So that's the stuff to reflect on it after this reading, okay? Taurus, or anybody this resonates with, I hope that helped somebody. And as always, I appreciate you guys coming, watching your reading, and you guys have a good day. I'll talk to you later.